I'm gonna do a case study on some of the play I did is it this week? I think last week on NKLA. So I'm gonna tell you why I made the trade, what strike I selected, and why I was so confident with that trade. Okay, so first on NKLA. So from here to here, I think that this was on the 13th. The 13th was, I think, last Thursday. So last Thursday, it was forming. It was forming this. It was forming like a little pennant. Inside day, double inside day, red to green. That's my favorite. Plus, it was also on top of the 50-day moving average. Also, there was volume on this candle right here. And you notice that when it's consolidate, the volume was actually when it goes down, the volume was low, but when it goes up, the volume is high. Okay, so I was very confident with this trade. I think I can go on demand. Let me see if I can go on demand. Let me see if I can go on demand and do August. Yeah, I think I could. August 13. So we have to do August 12 because that's when I placed the order. Okay, so August 12 it was looking like this. So right now on demand is at 1 Eastern time, I believe. So it would be 11 a.m. Pacific time. So right here, I waited until the end of the day to buy this contract because if I was to buy during the day, I would it won't move. It won't move. I knew that it won't move. It won't break this little trend right here. Intraday on Wednesday, but I was fairly confident on Thursday that it will move. So what I did was I bought one strike out of the money, I believe. Yeah, I think I bought one strike out of the money was 43. So usually on Wednesday, Thursday, I usually buy one strike out of the money, calls, all put. Okay. Right. So I waited until I think it was like 12:30, 12:45 Pacific Standard Time to get into this trade. Okay. So let's pass forward on Thursday. So I had many reasons that I like the setup. It was, look at the flag or a pennant right here. Bear flag right here, the pool and the pennant. Also, double inside day, red to green. That's my favorite setup. Plus 50 moving average right here. So this kind of setup, I look for them and I trade them and I buy if it's on Wednesday or Thursday. I usually buy one strike out the money. If it's Monday or Tuesday, I would go like 2 or 3 strike out the money, depending on the option price. And I think it was fairly cheap. I think it was like 80 cents. End of the day, it was 80 cents. I got 30 of them, I believe. Yeah, I got 30 of them. I got 10 on here, 10 on Tasty, and then 10 on Robinhood. Okay. Well, you were wondering why don't I just buy 30 of these? 30 over here. Well, because this account I am growing it up. This account I believe is no, this is a fake account. This is an on-demand account. But my account, this one is at 7,000. And with I think on here I started with 1,000. I think a month ago, I believe. And this account grew to about 7,000 right now. So, but I cannot risk more than 10% of my account on any given trade. So if it was at that I was on last week, it was around 5,000. So I can only risk 10% of that. We around 500, about 500, 600. So that's why I have to buy 10 here, and then 10 on my Tasty, and then 10 on my Robinhood. It's a pain in the ass to sell in the next morning, but you know it's the thing I like to do is you like to risk. I like to manage my account properly. You know, I don't risk more than 10% of my account at any given time. Okay, and then looking forward to the next day. Let's go at 6:30 in the morning. So be 06 35. Okay, that's 6:30 on Thursday, the next day. Oh no, that would be 9:35. Sorry, because that's Eastern. So what? Let's go back to right at the open. So usually with inside day, double inside day, there's three scenario that you'd be looking at, and doesn't matter what three scenario it is, the end result is always the stock moving higher. So on this day, the scenario would be a little. It will gap up. So this is the close at 480 42.80 I think, and then it gapped up in the morning around 43.6 right here. That's the open. 40.5, so like a 0.8 move, but that's enough to move the options. Okay, so this what happened is a gap. It's gonna be a gap and go, which means that it's gap over resistant. This is a resistance right here. So if we move to the 5 minute, a little bit bigger time frame, you can see that it, in the morning it moved up. It gapped up points about I'd say about 1.5%. So see right here, I drew this resistance line, and then it gapped up. It gapped over the resistance, and it came back and it retested right here. And as you can see, that it's testing, and it start turning green again. So right here is I didn't do anything. I just sat there and watched it. This right here, I think the option didn't move much. It moved a little bit, but it didn't move like, I think it moved like 30% or 50%, I believe. And then we can pass forward it. Let's pass forward another 5 minutes. Oh man, I'll be right back. Okay, I just had to restart my 2S. But yeah, you see, this is a gap and go, which means it gapped over resistant. It retested a little bit, and it continued higher, and it will continue higher. My first target was 45.70 right here, because this was the prior resistance. So there's some supplies up here. That's why that was my first target. Okay, let's pass forward another 5 minutes. Let's go 10 minutes. So well, I can just go back to normal time, but as you can see, it just keep going up. So what I did was, over here I would scale out. I would scale out half my position. So if I have 10 contract on this position, I would scale out like maybe 5. You know, at least took back my investment, and then I can just go with the profits. And I think it continued on for it went pretty well. So I'm gonna get out of on demand, and then I'm gonna go back to real time, and I think we can see, yeah. So over here, this is the 13 right here. It was Thursday. We can do right here. So basically, just keep grinding up, and then So my first target was 45.50. It was a prior resistance right here. So then when I got here, I think I sold most of it already. I should have kept it a little bit more, but I reached my target. I'm done. I got out. I made my money. I don't. It sucks that I went a little bit more, but you cannot always catch the top. But we caught the bottom, so we did pretty well. Yeah. So that was this was a pretty, I would say, pretty stress-free trade. We bought right at the close on Wednesday, and then we just ride the wave up on Thursday morning. Get out, took profit. There was any time that we were down, it was always, the position was always green. So it was pretty much a stress-free trade. You know, so if you want to write it down, what are the criteria is double inside day. You know, this candle fit in this candle, and this candle fit in this candle. Some unusual volume. Some green major volumes, and then on the down day, it's low volume. On top of the moving average is great, but it doesn't have to. You want to make sure it's on an uptrend. Okay, it's on a nice little uptrend, not like a downtrend. Right here is the inside day, but it's on a downtrend, right? So we want to be on an uptrend. Okay, higher high and higher low. That's what we want. See, higher high and higher low. That's what we want, because this is a momentum play. This is a continuation. So if you took this trade, I think you should have a pretty good time. I mean, it wasn't stressful at any given time if you win this trade. Okay, so this was a recap of the NKLA play that we did. Double inside day strategy on a Wednesday. So we bought the contract, one strike out the money. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, that's what you want to look for in a setup. That's why I scan for these setups. I trade them, and I have a high success rate on them, and it's been working. So yeah, learn from it. Look for these setup and practice how to trade them. Okay. So this one was a gap and go. Sometimes you will have but then I'll go over it. So this was one of the scenarios, a gap and go. But make sure that you draw out your resistance, your trend line, your support line first, so that the next day you don't surprise. You're not surprised. Like right here. You want to draw it out so you know what your level are.